I was sipping coffee in the lobby of the Lakeside Resort Hotel, scrolling through emails on my laptop, when chaos erupted. It was a sunny afternoon, the kind where you'd expect nothing but the hum of check-ins and the clink of luggage wheels. But what unfolded in that polished marble space left me speechless, my heart pounding, and my phone clutched tight as I watched a scene straight out of a nightmare. The lobby was buzzing, quietly guests milling about, a clerk tapping at the front desk, and a few business types like me camped out with laptops. I noticed a black man and his teenage son checking in earlier. They looked road-weary but happy, the dad ruffling his son's hair as they laughed over some private joke. The clerk handed them key cards, and they headed toward the elevators with their bags. Nearby, a woman sat at a lobby table, surrounded by shopping bags. She had a tense energy, her eyes darting around, hands fidgeting with her purse. I didn't think much of it then, but I later learned her name was Margaret Hensley, or, as her neighbors in Pinewood Estates called her, Meddling Maggie, the iron-fisted president of their Homeowners Association. Margaret had been shopping at the mall next door and stopped in the lobby to sort her haul. At some point, she realized her phone was gone. Instead of retracing her steps or asking for help, her gaze zeroed in on the only black teenager in the room, the boy I'd seen earlier. It was like a switch flipped. Her face hardened, and she stood, her chair scraping loudly against the floor. I glanced up, sensing trouble brewing. The boy had wandered away from his dad to check out a rack of local attraction brochures near the elevators. That's when Margaret made her move. "Excuse me," she barked, her voice cutting through the lobby like a knife. The boy turned, startled, his eyebrows knitting in confusion. "I need to check your pockets," she demanded, stepping closer. Her tone wasn't as skinged, it was accusing. "What? Why?" the boy stammered, taking a step back. "My phone's missing, and you're the only one near my table," Margaret snapped, her voice rising. "Empty your pockets. Now." By now, heads were turning. The boy's dad, who'd been a few steps away, hurried back. "Is there a problem here?" he asked, his voice calm but firm, like he was trying to keep a lid on his frustration. "Yes, there's a problem," Margaret shot back, pointing at the boy. "Your son took my phone, and I want it back." The dad placed a protective hand on his son's shoulder. "My son hasn't taken anything. We just checked in, and we're headed to our room." His words were steady, but I could see the tension in his jaw. The commotion drew a small crowd. A security guard approached, looking unsure, his radio crackling. "Ma'am, sir, is everything okay?" he asked. "No," Margaret shouted. "This boy stole my phone. I want him searched right now." The boy, who couldn't have been older than 15, looked mortified. "I don't have your phone," he said, his voice shaking. "I haven't taken anything." "My son doesn't have your phone," the dad added, his patience thinning. "We've been together the whole time except for the last minute. Stop accusing him without EVY Denke." Margaret's face flushed red. "I don't need EVY Denke," she yelled. "I know what I saw. He was lurking around my table." "Lurking," an older woman nearby muttered, exchanging a look with her husband. The word hung in the air, heavy with implication. I felt my stomach twist. This wasn't just about a phone anymore. The dad took a deep breath, clearly fighting to stay calm for his son's sake. "We're going to our room," he said firmly. "If you lost your phone, ask the staff to help you look for it or call it." "Come on, son." They turned toward the elevators, but Margaret wasn't done. Her eyes flashed with something wild, anger, desperation, maybe both. "You're not going anywhere," she shrieked, lunging forward. Before anyone could react, she grabbed the boy's backpack, yanking it so hard he stumbled. The crowd gasped, but she didn't stop. In a blur of motion, she tackled him, sending them both crashing to the marble floor. The boy's head narrowly missed the tiles as he hit the ground. "Let go of him," the dad roared, his calm shattering. He surged forward, pulling Margaret off his son. The security guard froze, caught off guard, as a woman nearby whipped out her phone and started recording. The hotel manager, a petite woman with a clipboard, sprinted over, barking at someone to call 911. "She just assaulted my child," the dad shouted, helping his son to his feet. The boy looked shaken but unharmed, his eyes wide with shock. "I want her arrested." Margaret scrambled up, undeterred, still clutching the boy's backpack. "Search him," she screamed. "I know he has it. "Ma'am, you need to calm down," the manager said, stepping between them. "The police are on their way." "Good," Margaret retorted. "They'll search him properly." I couldn't tear my eyes away. The tension was suffocating, the lobby thick with whispers and stares. Then, a hotel employee, who'd been quietly searching the area, approached Margaret's table. He bent down, peered under a chair, and stood up holding a smartphone with a glittery pink case. "Is this your phone, ma'am?" he asked, his voice neutral. Margaret spun around, her righteous fury faltering. Where did you find that?" "Under the chair at your table," the employee said. "It must have fallen out of your purse." The lobby went dead silent. You could feel the air shift like a storm breaking. The dad's face was a mask of barely contained rage. "So, you assaulted my son over a phone you left under your chair?" he asked, his voice low and lethal. Margaret's expression cycled through shock, embarrassment, and unbelievably defiance. "Well, how was I supposed to know?" she huffed. "He was acting suspicious." "Acting suspicious?" a man in the crowd called out. "You mean existing while black?" The words landed like a slap. Margaret opened her mouth to respond, but the police arrived, their boots echoing as they entered the lobby. The manager rushed to brief them, pointing at Margaret. One officer approached the boy, checking if he was okay, while another began questioning Margaret. She started confidently, even dropping her title as Pinewood Estates HOA president, as if it would shield her. But as witnesses stepped forward, myself included, and videos surfaced, her story unraveled. The officer's tone shifted. What began as routine questions turned sharp. When they asked for her ID, Margaret's bravado cracked. "Ma'am, turn around and place your hands behind your back," the officer said. "What?" Margaret squeaked, her voice shrill with disbelief. "You can't be serious." "Margaret Hensley, you're under arrest for assault and battery of a minor," the officer said, snapping on the cuffs. "You have the right to remain silent." He continued reading her rights as she protested, her voice echoing pitifully. The lobby watched, stunned, as the self-proclaimed queen of Pinewood Estates was marched out in handcuffs, still insisting she'd done nothing wrong. The dad knelt beside his son, whispering reassurances. The boy nodded, his composure remarkable for someone who'd just been attacked. A few guests approached, offering support, their faces a mix of anger and shame. I introduced myself to the dad later, asking if he'd press charges. "Absolutely," he said, his voice resolute. "My son deserves justice. No one gets to put hands on a kid like that and walk away." 3 months later, I got an email from the dad with a news link. Margaret had been convicted of assault and battery of a minor and filing a false police report. The judge sentenced her to 18 months of probation, a doula, $5,000 fine, and 200 hours of community service at a youth center in a predominantly black neighborhood. She was also ordered to attend racial sensitivity VY training. The article showed her Leah VYing the courthouse, her face a mix of shock and indignation as reporters hounded her. Her HOA board had voted her out unanimously, tired of her power trips, and her real estate firm put her on indefinite leave, dodging the PR nightmare. "This is outrageous," she told reporters. "I was just protecting my property. The system failed me." But no one was buying it. For once, Margaret faced the consequences of her actions. The story doesn't end neatly, though. It leaves a bitter taste, a reminder of how quickly prejudice can ignite and how far some will go to justify it. What do you think? Did Margaret get what she deserved, or was the punishment too harsh? Should the hotel have stepped in sooner? And what about the bigger picture? How do we stop these incidents from happening again? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if this story got your blood boiling. And subscribe for more real-life drama that'll keep you talking.